Stannis and Melisandre. Well, Melisandre isn't there, but we do finally get to meet Stannis' wife.
Yeah. That was fucking weird, man.
What the hell was that? That's not in the book.
Well, first of all, she's finally introduced.
Yeah, like she was introduced.
Gross.
It is gross. He has one of the grosser storylines of the series.
Everything.
Oh no, it was.
Fetuses
Well, I'll get to it. Like, first of all, it's like a
scars.
Frankenstein's laboratory with like fetuses and like these green.
Brainwashed
I don't remember
wife.
that.
No, that's definitely not in the book. In fact, I think his wife in the third book, she's only in the opening little prologue, right? Where like, remember the Maester is trying to poison Melisandre. Remember he like slips in this poison in her drink.
That's in the second book, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because the prologue.
Oh,
for
okay.
the
Yes,
third
yes, yes.
book
You're right.
Is with the Night's Watch.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the second book, and then
Or the fourth.
and then you meet his daughter, and remember his daughter always travels around with like this kind of weird crippled guy.
Face or something. He's like a jester.
Yeah, and
yeah, he's always singing crazy songs.
yeah, but the thing, like the second they showed those babies in the whatever the hell, her
the
failed,
miscarriages or
yeah, her
whatever,
failed,
the stillborns, yeah.
and so I was like, oh my god, what are they gonna do with her? Are they gonna take really creative liberties, and his daughter's gonna be like some malformed creature of the night?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like, did they start moving in the jars? Like
No.
still alive?
Oh my god,
Like,
that freaked me out a little because I was not expecting that.
was fucking weird.
That is
And then
weird.
the daughter, you meet Selyse, the daughter
Yeah.
who
I really
grayscale.
liked. I really liked that character.
Yeah, she's that poor girl. First of all, this poor girl, she survived a terrible illness. That's why she had grayscale, and that's why.
Yeah.
Which is basically like you turn to like stone, like your skin. That's why, and so she survived it, but forever her skin is like that.
Yeah.
And but his wife and his poor daughter, they're like locked away in this tower.
Yeah, they're
with
like
no other company except each other and dead babies.
Yeah, that's like his other life that like he just left behind, and they're just these broken people.
But she was the one that brought Melisandre to him. In the book, she's the one who introduces all of this to him.
Okay.
And that's why she's like really like zealous about the religion. And when he goes to like confess, like, because he fucked her to make the demon baby.
Now
they killed Renly.
I just had a question. Like in the first book, was there any hint to that religion, or was that something that started coming around in the second book?
I think more in the second book with Stannis' story, like with Melisandre.
Yeah, was there
and,
anything in the first book that hinted at? Because I was wondering if George
I
Martin
remember,
had it in his head at the beginning, or if he came up with it while writing the second one.
No, I think so. I think it is mentioned because they mentioned the Thoros of Myr, who's the Red Priest, who believes in that.
Oh, okay.
Because they do talk about him and stuff, and then I'm pretty sure it's mentioned, but it's not as serious a part of the storyline at that point.
Yeah, well, you don't meet any characters that are even
It
interested.
doesn't come until late. Right, it only comes more prevalent when Stannis becomes a more important part of the story.
Yeah,
really, and then also like the stuff with Dondarrion and like in the other books, then it becomes more of a thing.
Right.
But yeah, I don't remember if specifically anything comes up with it.
So then his daughter goes to go visit the Onion Knight down in the dungeon, and apparently he's illiterate. So
that's revealed that he's he can't read.
You just
but,
learn
you
that
see, like their bond. He's more of a fatherly figure than Stannis is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Stannis is a fucking wacko.
Mm-hmm. And I like the character of the Onion Knight. Like in the book, he was not my favorite, but like I always enjoyed everything like he was in. Like I was always interested. So, but
yeah,
he doesn't have as big a role in the third book, right? He's mostly in the second book with.
No, he does. We just haven't seen it yet.
Okay. All right.
Because what happens is in the series for a lot of characters, it's in the book. Yeah, it'll be a whole chapter because it'll be like describing all of the stuff that's happening or whatever. But you just see it in one shot in the episode. So then they have to like kind of stretch the story out a little bit.
Right.
So they kind of have to do that with Davos because the next thing that happens is going to be like basically his whole story for that book.
Right.
It's just otherwise they could get everything done with him in one episode if they wanted. You know what I mean? Because it's not that much material to use into a show. But his story's good. I always like Davos.
Then we get to Dany. So basically, they're walking around with these 8,000 people who I don't know how they feed. They must figure something out. Jorah and Selmy are like reminiscing about the good old days.
of Robert's kingdom.
Selmy basically admits that every single king he served, he's never felt like pride for them. He just followed, just because he was part of the king's guard, he had to always follow the oath, but really there's been no one in power that he's felt like, oh, I'm glad to be serving them.
It was really interesting to me that you see the Jaime scene, and he's talking about how he had to break his vow and why. And then you see Barristan Selmy scene, who he has like the exact opposite view. Like, he takes his oath in another way. Like, he would have never done that. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't. He wouldn't have done it. He would have stood by his vows. No, whatever that guy was doing. But inside he would have like, well, this isn't right. Right. That's what I felt like in the impression when I was watching it. But Jaime took action to save the city. Mm-hmm. He thought he had to do it. And the only reason Barristan Selmy is even there is because Joffrey released him from the service. He didn't quit on his own. So I thought it was really interesting, like, the two different... And Jaime idolized Barristan Selmy growing up, and he always wanted to be a member of the Kingsguard. And it's just... I thought it was just really cool, like, the dynamic that they had going on. It's part of why I like the editing, because they had that scene coming up right after that. You got to see the two different viewpoints. Yeah. And that's a huge theme throughout the entire series, like Ned Stark's honor. Like, is it good to be so true... to your honor and to the vows, or do you have to do the right thing by breaking them sometime? That's like a thing that a lot of characters wrestle with. Jon Snow wrestles with it. Jaime Lannister has wrestled with it. Barristan Selmy, Ned Stark did. That's like a huge theme in the story.
Yeah, so. Especially like, in that world. Like today, like, politicians and people in power, like back then it was like a code of honor. You take an oath, you have to do things a certain way, and people had... like nowadays, that's not really not an issue. People do backhanded deals, and it comes to light later. And even when it does, like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, well, I was watching a thing about the Watergate scandal with Woodward and Bernstein and everything, and they were talking about now what would happen if that story broke today, and it would be so different because it would become so much hotter. Like, the story would become so hot so fast because of all the social media, the internet, and everything, and all the tools that all the reporters have. Like, it would have been handled so much more differently. But when Woodward and Bernstein would do it, it was like this slow progression of like all the investigating they had to do. People only heard about it from certain articles in these major newspapers. It wasn't like this social media spreading. I forgot how we even started talking about this.
We were talking about how people in power can do whatever. It's a different world. Things happen differently.
We talked about Robb Stark already, right? That's stuff. He's like so frustrated. I thought it was interesting too with Robb Stark that like people are always fucking everything up for him.
Yeah, I've been noticing, and he always looks pissed off. He's always like staring up into the sky with like a pissed grimace.
Wouldn't you if like first your mother fucks you over by releasing Jaime Lannister, like the best hostage you could ever have? Yeah. Okay. Then he fucks himself over because he was like he screwed himself up because he was supposed to marry Frey. And he didn't, and he married the other girl for love, you know what I mean? So he lost them. Then Edmure Tully, like, they had a chance to make a serious, like, move towards winning the war. Edmure Tully, his uncle, fucks everything up for him there. Mm-hmm. And then now the Karstark guy fucking kills the Lannister kids, fucks everything up there for him.
I know, it's true.
It's like he can't win. And then the Lannisters don't have those problems at all. No. You feel like, you know what I mean? And their family dynamic is so different. It's more of just like, Tywin's the man, he rules the roost, and you're gonna fucking do what he says.
I think it just shows, like, Ned Stark
like you see,
taught his kids these ideals that at the end didn't help Ned Stark out. Now his kids are probably suffering for it because they just...
And it goes back to that, I guess, to the honor theme that's going on. It's like they're always trying to be the honorable ones, and he tried to instill that in them, and they keep getting fucked, and the people... who are ruthless.
Yeah, like Tywin.
Like they are the ones who are on top in the, it seems like.
Yeah, and you think about it, like, if your father was Tywin, and you just grew up with that personality all the time, like, you're gonna bring up kids with that same kind of attitude, just like, ruthless, like, do what needs to get done. You know
well,
what?
And
Fuck the rules sometimes.
In Cersei's case, I don't know. I think it was like the incest. Those kids are pretty fucked up. Well, Joffrey's anyway. You don't see the other kids at all.
Well, no. Well, yeah, one was
is in
sent
Dorne.
away. One is
The
someplace
daughter's
else.
in Dorne, and you don't see Tommen, who's the younger son. I think they're normal. They don't seem to be abnormal in the book. Joffrey seems to be, the maniac. And,
Yeah, he's the weird one.
Yeah.
And then back to the Daenerys scene. She calls forward all like the head of each squad or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing really happened too much. They just you just get an insight like as to her. She's trying to change the Unsullied culture.
And then finally, well, the last scene is with Tyrion and Cersei, but then the last thing is Sansa and Marjorie. They're watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The guy,
I forgot about
the guys
that.
fight, and Sansa's, she's getting all moist watching them fight. Little does she
I
know.
didn't know.
Maybe she was acting.
Sansa's the only one in the world that apparently doesn't know that Loras is gay.
Yeah, like come
Because
on,
Tywin and they all know when they're in that scene with Tywin and Cersei and Tyrion.
Yeah.
They make jokes about how he's gay. Like Sansa, well, she doesn't have all the right parts that Loras would like.
Yeah.
It's so weird. She's completely lost in this romanticized world that doesn't exist.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she's not getting it. And then Marjorie there, they're talking, and so then we get to some sexy gay stuff. I wrote,
You thought it was sexy, did you?
and
and that turns out to be.
yeah, who was that guy?
So that guy was a spy. The guy that was banging Loras.
Oh yeah, cut the little finger.
Undercovers.
Was, one of Littlefinger's
Little birds.
Yes.
Spiders or wwhatever.
No, that's Varys. Varys has
Varys
spiders
has
and birds.
Okay.
Well, he's the spider. Lord Varys is known as the spider, and then he has little birds.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, do spiders.
Would you like to hear the story of how I got cut again? I love
gather round?
No,
children.
not again. It's been 50
Every
times
day
already.
he goes to the orphanage and tells the kids about his cut. Enough with the gash, Varys.
I don't want to see it anymore.
Stop it. And Littlefinger talks with Sansa.
Yeah, well, Littlefinger found out that Sansa was going to be the Tyrells were going to try and set up this match with her and Loras, and he tries to put a stop to it, himself because he has some purposes for Sansa himself. Mm-hmm. And but then it doesn't matter anyway because Tywin found out about everything, and he's going to have Tyrion marry Sansa before Joffrey's wedding to fuck everything up. So they can secure Winterfell.
You know what? Upon talking about all this stuff in the episode, it's a little bit of a lull.
Well, yeah, as we were talking about, this
Just
is not...
started off with the fight. That's it.
The beginning fight was good.
Yeah, it was a lot more like... It was just like a lot more character development.
Yeah, it's more
but
build
it was
up.
really interesting stuff.
Yeah, especially after the last episode where like they hit you with like three like big thing like the Night's
Lot of
Watch,
action in the last
Daenerys. What was the other big thing that happened? Oh no, it didn't happen at the beginning of this episode, like with the Hound.
Oh yeah.
And stuff.
No, last of the big things were Daenerys. That was the huge thing with Daenerys, and like that those people didn't have a contingency plan for.
Yeah.
But it was a good story break. It was a good
definitely,
character build up and set up, for stuff for the future. It's gonna get really awesome. So that was the good thing about this book was that at a certain point, like around this time in the series, stuff that was just building up the story and setting things up, that stuff was really awesome.
Yeah.
So I liked the episode a lot still. But
me too.
With us talking about it, you're right. It doesn't sound as exciting. I don't think we're really doing it justice either. So
It was a good episode. Watch it. I don't know why you'd be listening to this if you haven't watched the episode.
maybe people only get their Game of Thrones information from us.
Yeah,
Like, some people only watch Colbert Report or The Daily Show to get their news. Maybe they do that with...
All right, so last week the quote was, just the sight of her made him hard.
Right.
That episode it went up a little late, but one guy did comment.
Went up very late.
His name is Reagan Namacher 175. He made two guesses, but I'm only going to count his first guess, which is wrong.
Wait, you're harsh.
He's
I like this first guess.
Isn't that
harsh.
Jon Snow thinking about Ygritte? No, it's not. He was actually, he got it right in the second guess. It was Tyrion thinking about Shay. Well, he wasn't thinking about Shay. He saw Shay and got hard. This
he was
guy
talking.
is all over the map.
He's close enough. Who was that lucky winner?
I said it, Reagan. I'll
okay.
spell it out there. Good job.
Good job. I don't know. We don't have any prizes at all. He just
Sure
wins.
we do.
Well, what could we possibly give?
No,
well, okay, here's
no.
the thing. We'll make a little song for him, okay?
On the kazoo.
So, Reagan Manacher, 175, here we go. Oh, his name is Reagan Manacher, 175, and he left a comment on a video. There you go. That's
did
the
it.
prize. So, this week's line, Dexter is picking a random line from the book, and, guess, and the person who wins, if there's multiple winners, we'll say all your names, because we got nothing else to do.
All right, hold on. All right, wait, let me, hold on a second. Let me find one here.
I think we're lacking energy because we just recorded D&D.
Dexter was
and
unprepared.
then we ate like a lot of
Unprepared.
fast food.
Yeah, now it's late.
And now it's late. See any good ones?
No, every time I looked at a line, it's like, Tyrion said, or, what do you think of that, Bronn?
All right,
Everyone I keep looking at, it's such an easy one.
Okay, I found the line immediately.
Okay.
Here's the line. Guess who said it? And win a prize. Here's the quote.
In quotes, prize.
We use the term prize loosely.
Here you go. Your Lord Father is most kind. My men will thank him. They have had a long, wet ride.
Oh,
So, if you can guess, I closed the book, so I have no idea who said that.
Oh, shit.
But we'll look it up later. Guess who said that? Win a prize.
Sir Loris.
So now we get to bosses.
Oh yeah, let's see, boss. What did you think? Let's get. It's
Wait a
time
minute.
for what did boss think?
What did you think?
Like I said, I wasn't sure about the flaming sword and the resurrection thing.
Favorite scene?
Favorite scene.
Wait, why weren't you sure about that?
Because I
Worst scene.
This is really powerful magic all of a sudden. This Lord of Light dude, and
It is
Well,
a
it's not
mystery.
all of a sudden. With the Lord of Light
I guess
thing,
the
guy
assassin,
fucked a demon
right.
into her,
Yeah, that's true.
and
but
then its shadow killed a king.
I don't understand this guy. He's all. Where does he come from? This Lord of Light guy. What's going on there?
It's a
Well,
new
he's the Lord
religion,
of
man.
Light.
It's peculiar.
But it's
to
not a
me.
new religion. Well, it's new to Westeros.
Yeah.
And it seems like Stannis' wife is brainwashed or something. What's going on with her?
She had a mustache in the book.
She
Ooh.
did. She was not attractive.
Wait, what does that have to do with her being brainwashed?
Well,
Women with mustaches are easily brainwashed. Everyone knows that. Where have you been? No, yeah, she's just ugly in the book, but no, she found Melisandre, and she was really into the religion, and she kind of introduced Stannis into it. And the only reason he's into it is because he thinks that it'll help him. He doesn't really care.
My favorite scene was at the end when Tywin tells Tyrion and Cersei, you do what I say, because you're my fucking spoiled-ass kids and been mooching off me all my life, so fuck you, you pretty little princess bitch.
whoa, that was an
That's what I
exact
think.
quote.
And then he's
I'm
like,
reading the line right
screw
here in the
you,
book."
short ass, you killed my wife, marry that bitch.
Short ass.
I liked it, because he put his fucking foot down. Stupid spoiled kids, they deserve it.
You're not supposed to like Tywin, though.
I like him.
All right.
I liked it.
I think he's
I
awesome.
like
I
the
think the actor
discipline.
does a great
I'm a
job.
fan of discipline. All right, discipline that stupid.
You rock a
Cersei.
discipline.
She's been running amok, doing whatever the hell she wants.
Man. You're in drive a tight ship here.
What what'd you think, Granny Tyrell?
She's good. It was a little like I don't know. I felt like Tyrion wouldn't have been walked over or steamrolled that much. Kind of disappointed me.
Well, that's the power that Granny Tyrell has.
She wields
She
it.
throws everybody off because you want to think that a woman at her age and her position would
I'm not
really
buying
be
it
like
completely.
that. What? That she's like that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I
She
don't-
thinks it's
I don't
front?
buy it completely. I think Tyrion would just sit up for himself a little bit. No, why not?
I don't know. We got what he wanted.
I guess.
Yeah,
So that conversation could have been a lot shorter there.
I guess
it's
so.
true.
You guys are thrilling.
And any other questions? I can't think of any questions.
I hate Stannis in every scene involving Stannis' side of the story, including the ugly kid and his crazy wife and stupid onion guy. I
You don't like Davos at all?
Because it makes me think of smells of onions, and that's a stupid name. And if I was the Onion Knight, it would say, "Please stop calling me the Onion Knight."
Okay.
What'd you think of?
If you were a knight, what would your nickname be? Because everyone in Game of Thrones has a nickname.
The Bastard Knight.
Why would you be called that?
I'd be a bastard.
Yeah, but
Nah,
being
but
a
you can't
bastard,
be
I
a
wouldn't
knight,
be a
then.
bastard. I'd
If
just
you're a
be
bastard,
a bastard.
you can't be a knight.
No, I said I wouldn't be a bastard, but I'd be a bastard. You know.
yeah, but a bastard
Okay.
has a different.
That's true.
got different
All right,
meaning
fine.
here.
I'd be.
If you could name yourself after some sort of vegetable or fruit, like the Onion Knight,
Pepper
what-
Knight.
the Pepper Knight.
Pepper Knight.
It's a seasoning.
You know what's
or,
weird?
Or like a pepper.
It's a
be like,
vegetable.
it's a vegetable, like a bell pepper.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of ground pepper
Black
when he
pepper.
said pepper night, like black pepper.
You know what's
yeah.
weird?
It was burned by the Pepper Knight.
I wouldn't be surprised if there
You
already
could
is
stop
like a
sneezing.
Pepper Knight.
What?
I wouldn't be surprised if there is actually a Pepper Knight.
I'm the Pepper Knight.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah,
You're looking at him.
that's right.
The chili.
Did we do
sigil.
all of our segments?
I think so.
Yeah, that's it. How complex do you think this is?
I don't know. This is it was a pretty straightforward episode.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Feel free to follow us on Twitter if you want, or give a listen to our D&D podcast.
We maintain accents.
Season 1 is done. Season 2 is forthcoming.
Terrible accents.
Just have a good
We
time.
suck tonight. I feel like.
Go home and cut the skin off.
Wow. I'm gonna go home and cut the skin off.
All right.
I'm
I'm
gonna go home and take a shit.
Oxnard.
I'm Dexter.
The boss.
Goodbye.
Bye.